All right, today we're diving into a place that feels like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie, the Amazon rainforest. This place is so huge, it's hiding secrets that could totally rewrite what we think we know about the world.
So let me ask you this. Can a spider really be 6 feet big? I know, it sounds like something from a horror movie, right? But believe it or not, that's just one of the wild claims coming out of the biggest jungle on Earth.
You've probably heard the Amazon called the lungs of our planet, and that's true. But it's also a place of just deep, deep mystery. I mean, it is so massive, so dense, that we have barely, and I mean barely, scratched the surface. It's a world where the stuff you think is impossible might actually be out there, just waiting for us to find.
Okay, so our first stop on this wild journey, the plants. And trust me, even the flora in the Amazon is going to make you question what you thought you knew about nature.
And no, this is not science fiction. Get this. They're called walking trees. I'm serious. Researchers have actually found trees that can, well, move. They slowly shift their location right across the forest floor. So you're probably asking, how on earth does a tree walk? Well, it's kind of this slow, really fascinating dance with the sun. See, the tree grows new roots, reaching out for more light. Then it leans onto those new roots, and the old roots in the back just lift up and rot away. It's a process that can take months. And as if that wasn't wild enough, a lot of these trees are also super poisonous. Just adds a whole other layer of danger, does. But hey, walking trees might be the least of your problems out there. Local legends talk about something way, way more terrifying: carnivorous, man-eating trees. Now, science hasn't confirmed this, of course, but these stories have been around forever, and they add this whole creepy vibe to the Amazon's plant life. All right, let's move from the land into the water. Deep in the jungle, there's a river that it makes no sense to scientists. We're talking about a river where the water is constantly between 70 and 100 degrees Celsius. To put that in perspective, that's up to 212 degrees Fahrenheit, literally boiling. And this isn't some tiny little hot spring. We're talking about a whole flowing river of scalding hot water. And here's the craziest part. Nobody really knows why it's boiling. There aren't any active volcanoes nearby that could be heating it up. It's just boiling. It's one of the biggest unsolved puzzles in the natural world. Okay, so we've had walking trees and a boiling river. Now we're getting into the really scary stuff. The Amazon is famous for its wildlife, and some of the stories coming out of there, they are pure nightmare fuel. Let's start with something small. Deceptively small, actually. This is the bullet ant. It doesn't look like much, right? But this little guy has a reputation as one of the most feared insects on the planet. They say its sting is so painful, it feels like you've been shot. Seriously, that's where it gets its name. The pain can last for days, and some of the more venomous types, their sting can actually kill you. All right, from tiny to absolutely gigantic. Scientists agree that the biggest anacondas get to be about 30 feet long. That's huge. But there are reports from deep in the Amazon of people seeing snakes that are up to 75 feet long. That's more than double the official record. Just to give you some perspective here, the biggest snake we know of that ever existed was the titanoboa. It lived millions of years ago and was around 42 feet long. And for a long time, we thought that was the absolute biggest snake possible. So when you hear explorers claiming they saw a 75-foot snake, they're talking about something that would completely shatter the fossil record, a creature that's way bigger than anything we thought could even exist. And that leads to this mind-blowing question. What if those reports are true? Could a creature like the titanoboa have never actually gone extinct? Could it still be out there, right now, hiding in some unexplored swamp? Which brings us right back to where we started. That 6-foot spider. And look, this isn't just some campfire story. These claims are coming from indigenous tribes, and even, supposedly, from a few scientists. They talk about this huge, aggressive spider. A spider that's even said to kill its own young. Terrifying. Okay, next up is a creature that really blurs the lines between what we think of as animal and, well, human. It's called the Maricoxy. And the story comes from a pretty shocking report by a British researcher who said he came face to face with something that was half man, half ape. His account is just chilling. He claimed these things were 12 feet tall. They were aggressive, tried to attack his team, and get this, they seemed to live in organized groups, like tribes, and even had their own way of communicating. So, let's recap. We've got walking trees, a boiling river, giant prehistoric monsters, but the mysteries don't even stop there. Some of the claims go way beyond our world.
Yep, I'm talking about aliens and UFOs. Some people really believe that because the Amazon is so huge and unexplored, it's the perfect place for extraterrestrials to hide out. Now, there's zero proof, of course, but the fact that people even suggest this stuff just shows you how much of a black box this jungle really is.
But look, in the middle of all these wild stories, there's one thing that is absolutely 100% true. The Amazon gives us 20% of the oxygen we breathe. So while its secrets are fascinating, its survival is literally essential for every single one of us.
The truth is, we've only seen a tiny, tiny fraction of the Amazon. You've got prehistoric survivors, bizarre natural wonders. It's just a land of endless mystery. And it really makes you wonder what else is hiding in there, just waiting for us to find it.